Be Rich. Inspired by Robert Collier. Written and published by Audible Aria. The riches and success that has been hidden for nearly 1900 years. Since the beginning of time, humanity has searched for this secret. It has been discovered and lost many times over. Ancient civilizations had some knowledge of it, as evidenced by the folk tales and legends passed down through generations. Stories like Aladdin and his magical lamp, or Ali Baba and his open sesame to hidden treasures hint at this timeless wisdom. Every country has its own legends. Each nation has had wise people, geniuses and visionaries who have caught glimpses of the truth hidden in these old stories. They understood some parts of how this truth works, but it was Jesus who rediscovered the entire secret and showed us clearly, step by step, how we can use it to get any good thing we desire. Don't be mistaken about this. Jesus' miracles were not supernatural events that only he could perform. How else could he have chosen 70 disciples, ordinary men like fishermen, farmers, and tax collectors, and sent them out in pairs to perform miracles and wonders almost as great as his own? They returned to him joyfully, saying, "Lord, even the devils obey us through your name." How could Jesus have assured us, "The things I do, you will do also, and even greater things"? Jesus' miracles were naturally divine. Instead of breaking natural laws, they showed what these laws can do if you understand how to use them. God does not make exceptions. As St. Augustine said, miracles are not contrary to nature, but only contrary to what we know about nature. Every force in nature works according to definite logical principles. These forces will work for anyone who knows how to use them, just like Aladdin's magical genie responded to anyone who rubbed the lamp. These forces can be ignored and left unused. They can be harnessed for good or evil, but the laws themselves remain constant. It is only our methods of using them that change. To the people of Jesus' time, an airplane or a car would have seemed as miraculous as curing a leper. Sending sound waves through the air to be received by a small box called a radio would have amazed our ancestors as much as sending our voice over a beam of light amazes us today. Yet, none of these are supernatural. The forces of nature have always been there, ready for us to use. What has changed is our understanding and knowledge of how to use them. In ancient times, people saw lightning as a sign of God's anger, much like how some deeply religious people today view poverty, sickness, and disasters as acts of God. But humanity has learned to harness lightning and make it work for us. The laws governing electricity were always there, waiting for someone wise enough to understand them and show us how to use them effectively. Similarly, the power to become and achieve what you desire is right here, waiting for you to learn how it works. Just as we have learned to use the forces of nature, we can learn to use the laws of the universe to achieve our goals and desires. All it takes is understanding how these laws work and applying them in our lives. This power is available to everyone, just like the forces of nature. Once you know how to use them, you can create the life you want. About 1900 years ago, a remarkable person came to this earth known as the Son of Man. He declared that his mission was to help us have life and have it more abundantly. He wasn't talking about teaching us how to die to reach heaven and a life of comfort. No, he meant that we could have a rich and full life here and now. Again and again he told us, "Whatever you desire, you shall have it." To make sure we understood he was talking about the present, he assured us, "If 2 of you agree on earth about anything you ask for, it will be done for you." He also gave us clear instructions on how to get the things we desire. When you want more of the good things in life, when happiness, success, or riches seem out of reach, there's a specific formula to follow. Jesus said, "Seek first the kingdom of heaven, and all things shall be added unto you." You might think this means you have to die and go to heaven to get what you want. But Jesus anticipated this thought. He explained that the kingdom of heaven is not far away in the clouds or in the next world. He said, "The kingdom of heaven does not come with observation, nor will people say, 'Here it is,' or 'There it is,' because the kingdom of heaven is within you." This means that the key to a full and abundant life is within us right now. We don't have to wait for some distant future or another world to experience the good things we desire. By understanding and tapping into the kingdom of heaven within us, we can create the happiness, success, and riches we seek. Jesus showed us that by looking within ourselves and aligning with this inner kingdom, we can achieve our desires and live a more abundant life. What is heaven? The word heaven is often misunderstood. In the original Greek text, the word used is uranos, which literally means expansion. And what does expansion mean? It means increasing, spreading out, and multiplying. So when Jesus said, "Seek first the kingdom of heaven," he was saying, seek first the kingdom of expansion, and all these things will be added to you. In other words, look for a place or a state of being where you can grow, increase, multiply, and bring forth fruit. This idea is supported by Jesus' own descriptions of the kingdom of heaven. He said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed which a man took and planted in his field. Though it is the smallest of all seeds, when it grows, it is the largest of garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds come and perch in its branches." He also said, "The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman mixed into a large amount of flour until it worked all through the dough." These examples show that the kingdom of heaven is about growth and transformation. Just as a tiny mustard seed grows into a large tree and a small amount of yeast makes dough rise, seeking the kingdom of heaven means finding ways to expand and increase in your life. It's about allowing yourself to grow and multiply your blessings. When you focus on this kind of growth, all the good things you desire will come to you naturally. What is special about a mustard seed? It spreads. One small seed grows into a tree, and that tree produces many seeds, enough to plant a whole field. And what is special about yeast? It expands. In just one night, it can grow 100 times its size. When you look at the miracles of increase in the Bible, they are all about expansion. How can you make things expand? We know of 2 ways. 1, by pressure from inside, and 2, by heat. If you want to expand something elastic, you can blow air or liquid into it, creating pressure that makes it stretch, or you can push it out with your hands. However, this kind of expansion only lasts as long as you keep applying pressure. True, lasting expansion must come from within the object itself, like a seed growing into a plant. Expansion from within is achieved through heat. For example, if you heat water, it turns into steam, which expands and can produce enough power to do the work of thousands of men or hundreds of horses. If you want to expand metal, you heat it until it becomes white hot. While it is in this heated state, you can shape it into anything you want. To expand coal and extract the rich gases, coal tar, dyes, and other useful substances hidden inside its hard surface, you need to heat it. Similarly, to make a seed of corn, wheat, or any other plant grow, you must plant and water it so it can warm up, burst its shell, and send its shoots upward. So expansion, whether it's in a seed, metal, or coal, comes from adding heat, which activates the potential inside. When you understand this principle, you can use it to expand and grow things in your own life as well. The key to expanding anything from within seems to be heat. But how can we use heat to expand our wealth? Should we throw everything into a fire and hope it grows? Of course not. That's not how Jesus or the prophets did it. They used a different kind of heat. It was the heat of love, praise, and blessing, encouraged by the breath of faith. Think about the time when a large crowd followed Jesus out of the cities into a desert place. In front of him were 5,000 hungry people. To feed them, Jesus had only 5 loaves of bread and 2 small fish. So to expand our riches, we must use the heat of love, praise, and blessing. By appreciating and being thankful for what we have, and by having faith, we can unlock our true potential and see our blessings grow. The same principle applies when dealing with animals or people. A well-known sales manager faced a challenge with his team. Their sales were down, and his motivational speeches, encouragements, and threats were not making a difference, so he tried a different approach. He put up a large electric sign in the main corridor of his building, where everyone could see it. The sign read, "The salesman whose work has been most outstanding this week is Peter." Right away, sales increased, and from that week on, he never had to worry about a slump again. How does this idea relate to non-living things? The answer is that there are no truly inanimate things. Modern science shows us that everything is full of life. Inside what seems like a still lump of lead or iron are tiny atoms of whirling energy. These atoms are constantly moving, bouncing around and circling like tiny solar systems at speeds far greater than an airplane. While the mass itself might appear still, inside there is boundless energy. So, just like people and animals respond to praise and recognition, everything around us is alive with energy. By understanding this, we can tap into the potential and energy in all things to achieve greater success and abundance. Where there is constant energy, there is life. When things move in an orderly way and seem to follow a good plan, it shows there is intelligence. And where there is intelligence, there must be the ability to respond. This ability to respond in everything in life makes it possible for you to prove the truth of the scriptural promise that humans should have control over the earth and everything on it or in it. How can you exercise that control? Not by force and not even by prayer, but by praise. Charles Fillmore said, "There is an inherent law of mind that we increase whatever we praise. The whole of creation responds to praise and is glad." Animal trainers pet and reward their animals with treats for good behavior. Children feel happy and joyful when they are praised. Even plants grow better for those who show them love and care. We can praise our own abilities, and even our brain cells will grow and become smarter when we speak words of encouragement and appreciation to them. God gave you control over the earth, and everything is meant to serve you. But remember, the scriptures say that God brought every animal and bird to Adam to see what he would call them. You are like Adam because you can name everything and everyone you encounter however you like. You can call them good or bad, and whatever you call them, that is what they will become to you, good helpers or bad ones. You can praise or criticize them, and they will respond accordingly. The law of increase. There is one constant law of increase. Whatever is praised and blessed multiplies. When you count your blessings, they grow. If you need more money, start by praising and blessing every small amount you receive, treating it as a symbol of God's abundance and love. You'll be surprised at how quickly that small amount will grow into much more. Invite God into your business. Bless your store, your cash register, everyone who works for you, and every customer who comes in. If you work for someone else and want a better job or higher pay, start by blessing and being thankful for what you have now. Bless the work you are doing. Be grateful for every opportunity it gives you to gain more skills, abilities, or to help others. Bless the money you earn, even if it's a small amount. Be so thankful to God for it that you give a small part of it to someone who needs it more than you. If your boss seems unappreciative or tough, bless him anyway. Be thankful for the chance to serve faithfully, even if the immediate reward seems small. Give your best effort, do it cheerfully and thankfully, and you will be surprised at how quickly things will improve for you. The rewards may not come directly from your current boss, but from the greater boss above all. In all of Jesus Christ's actions and teachings, we see the importance of praise. Now, how can you increase your supply? How can you get more riches, happiness, and all the good things in life? You can do this the same way as the wise men and prophets of old. It's the same way Jesus fed the multitudes and filled the disciples' nets with fish after they had worked all night and caught nothing, by expanding what you have. The way to expand is through love, praise, and thanksgiving. The Bible tells us, "In everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God." Again and again, it emphasizes the root of inspiration and success. Rejoice, be glad, praise, and give thanks. "Prove me now herewith," said the Lord of hosts, "if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing so great that there won't be room enough to receive it." One surprising fact from modern science is that the universe is not finished. Creation is happening all around us. New worlds are being formed, and cosmic energy is taking shape in countless ways. But an even more surprising fact is that we are creators too, and we can shape the world we will live in tomorrow with our actions today. People often blame their environment, education, opportunities, or luck for their situation. But they are wrong. There is only one person to blame: themselves. We are the result of our thoughts from yesterday and all the days before. Today, we are shaping what we will become in the future. There is no such thing as failure. Whether you are poor, sickly, rich, or strong, you have succeeded in one thing. You have shaped the cosmic energy around you based on the vision held by your inner self. You have labeled the forces working with you as good or bad, and as you labeled them, they have become your servants, either good or evil. Now, if you don't like your current situation, you don't have to leave things as they are. You can change your circumstances. You can bless and praise the good, no matter how small it seems, and by doing so, you can make it grow 1,000 times. This might be easier to believe if you think about how nature works. Take the mineral kingdom, for example. A group of cells sticks together. Why? Because they are all the same kind and their electronic life revolves at the same rate. They can also repel any other kind of cell that tries to join because those cells move at a different rate. In the plant world, the process of selection is even more precise. Each group of plant cells attracts cells from its surroundings that are exactly like them and repels all others. That's why tomatoes, potatoes, beans, and other vegetables can grow side by side but remain completely separate and distinct. No part of a potato will be absorbed into a tomato or vice versa. Each plant uses its ability to attract similar cells to stay true to its type. Like attracts like. This principle goes back to the electrons and protons that make up each cell, whether it's a mineral, animal, or plant cell. Everything in nature starts with a single electron being touched in just the right way to start it spinning on its axis. This awakening affects other similar particles, drawing them in and setting them in motion. Each electron is like a tiny universe, with particles revolving around a common center. Just like the planets orbit around the sun, the rate of movement varies, and groups with a higher rate of movement produce higher forms of life. When the rate of movement changes, form and color change too. In complex organisms like the human body, a change in the rate of movement in any part can affect the harmony of the whole. Faster moving units tend to break away from and throw off slower ones. Our bodies are always busy doing something like this. Old cells slow down, break off, and are removed. That's how a dog can follow its owner's scent because the owner is always shedding old cells. If we can't get rid of the bad cells, we can get sick or even die. It's important to know that we attract things that are like us, starting with individual cells. We only take in elements that match our own quality and character. This ability helps us keep our identity and quality, not just in our bodies, but in our surroundings too. Similar things attract each other. If we're not happy with ourselves and want better health, nicer friends, more money and success, we need to start with our thoughts. Our thoughts can change how fast our body works. They can affect certain parts of our body and cause problems if they're negative. Thoughts like anger, fear, worry, envy, hate, or discouragement can make us sick and create problems in our lives. You can cut out growths with a surgeon's knife, helping the body get rid of harmful elements. But there's an easier and better way, bringing the body back into harmony, making the whole body work together smoothly, and aligning it with the infinite. The first step to achieving this harmony is to relax, to remove the mental brakes. Worry, fear, and discouragement act like brakes, slowing down your thoughts and the proper functioning of your organs, reducing your overall activity. There's a story about the devil holding a sale of all his tools. He displayed everything: sharp daggers of jealousy, a sledgehammer of anger, a bow of greed, arrows of lust and envy, and weapons of vanity, fear, and pride. Each had a price. But in a special place, framed and set apart, was a small wedge worn from use. This wedge was called discouragement, and its price was higher than all the other tools combined. When asked why this small wedge of discouragement was so valuable, the devil explained, "This is the one tool I can use when everything else fails. If I can get that little wedge into a person's mind, it opens the way for all other problems. That wedge has opened more doors for me than all my other tools combined." Discouragement slows you down more than almost anything else and creates the greatest resistance to the good things trying to come into your life. Think about Ohm's law in electricity. C equals E divided by RC is the amount of electrical energy that reaches where it's needed. E is the amount of energy available from the power source. R is the resistance that the energy encounters as it flows. If there were no resistance, all the energy from E would be delivered as C. But there is always some resistance, even in the best conductors. The amount of energy actually delivered depends on the power available divided by the resistance. All the energy of the universe is around you. You can have anything good that you want, but it must go through you first, and you stop it. You create more resistance to good things than anything that blocks an electrical circuit. You don't believe that good things can come easily. You think you need to struggle, face disappointment, and endure pain to get them. You add worries, fears, hates, and envies, making the path to good things difficult. By the time the good reaches you, it is so weak that there's not much left. Remember, like attracts like. Hate brings more hate and all the problems that come with it. Envy, fear, and worry bring discord and disease. If you want health and happiness, and if you are looking for riches and success, you need to focus your thoughts on these things. Appreciate the circumstances around you. Bless and praise the people you meet. Even bless the difficulties you face, because by doing this you can turn them from negative conditions into positive ones. You can make these challenges work for you instead of against you. The only reason you lack good things in your life is because you aren't open to them. Good things naturally grow and move quickly. You can match this fast pace by having a positive and confident mindset. By appreciating and blessing the good in your surroundings and circumstances, you can elevate them to a higher level. Remember, your thoughts are like a magnet. The quality and activity of this magnet decide whether good or bad things come to you. You control your own fate. You are the builder who chooses the materials to create your life and circumstances. You have the power to choose. How can we live our lives to get the good things we want, like wealth, happiness, health, and success? Start by focusing on growth and expansion, and everything else will follow. Think about the nucleus. Everything in the universe starts with a nucleus. When a single electron is activated the right way, it starts spinning on its axis. This spinning creates magnetism, which attracts other similar particles and sets them in motion. With this nucleus, growth and multiplication can continue as long as the motion doesn't slow down. When it slows down, it breaks apart and stops. You can start your own nucleus with an idea, supported by strong desire and faith. For example, let's look at how Bruce Houghton started his automotive business in Jacksonville, Florida. When he began, he had only $23. He used $14.40 of that money to buy some tools. With this small start, he created a nucleus for his business, which allowed it to grow. Bruce Houghton rented a 2-car garage in the backyard of the house where he had rented a room and put up his sign. But he didn't just rely on the sign to bring in customers. He knew he had to do more. So he visited several professional people and told them about the unique service he could offer for their cars, which they couldn't get anywhere else. Over the next few weeks, he kept making these visits in his spare time. He also sent out letters and postcards to more people, telling them about his special service. After the first 30 days, his hard work paid off. He made a net profit of $476.80, and his only expense was $50 for overhead. That was in the spring. By June, his business had grown so much that he needed a bigger space because over 500 regular customers were coming to his backyard garage for the unique service he offered. In February of the next year, Bruce had to move again, this time to a prime corner location in one of the best parts of the city. A year later, he moved once more, 5 blocks closer to the business district where most of his customers were. This new place was 10 times bigger than the previous one. He also started a motor club, which quickly grew to 50 branches across Florida and Georgia. In these garages, his products were sold, his name became well known, and his service was widely recognized. All this started with just $23, an idea, hard work, and a strong belief in his ability to provide better service than anyone else. You might think he had a special skill since he was a good auto mechanic. You might wonder, what about me? I don't have any particular skill or ability. What should I do? The answer is to find a way to serve people better or more cheaply than it is currently being done. Then learn how to do it, even if it means waiting months or years to carry out your idea. With all the free night schools and public libraries available today, there's no excuse for not being able to learn anything you want to know. Why do few businesses last beyond their founder? Because only the founder had the faith and determination to keep the nucleus spinning. Faith is the driving force without which no business can survive. Without it, any nucleus will quickly slow down and lose its power. Now bring your dream to life. How? By taking steps to make it real. Let's say you want a home but lack the money to buy the kind you want. Forget about money for now, it's not the most important part. Instead, create a clear picture of your dream home, draw it on paper, and cut out pictures from magazines that show the type of architecture, construction, grounds, rooms, and furnishings you desire. This is your nucleus. Now start it spinning. Also, every time you look at the picture of your dream home, admire it, feel thankful for it, and believe in it. Your faith is powerful. The more you believe, the more you will attract everything you need to make your dream come true. As Lord Bulwer Lytton said, nothing can stop a determined person who believes. Let's say you want to sell something. It could be an idea to improve the business and you need to convince your boss of its value. It might be a car, an insurance policy, or another product that you think someone should buy. Or maybe you want to convince a girl that you would make a great husband. How do you do it? Start by convincing yourself first. Imagine you're standing in front of a mirror. Talk to your reflection and use all the arguments you would use on the person you want to convince. Look at yourself and ask, do you believe this? If your reflection doesn't believe you, the person you're trying to sell to won't either. But if you can truly convince the person in the mirror, if you can look yourself in the eye and speak honestly, sincerely, and convincingly, and you see yourself agreeing, then you can sell to anyone. You have given life to your idea and started it in motion. When you approach your potential buyer, you will do so with confidence that the sale is already made. It might not happen on the first try or even the second. Your idea may need more elements to come together to complete the sale. But if you keep believing and keep the person in the mirror convinced, your success is guaranteed. Napoleon Hill wrote, "There's only one unfailing law of success in business. It is belief." But what about health? What if you are feeling weak, tired, or sick? Over 2,000 years ago, the prophet Joel gave an answer. "Let the weak say, 'I am strong.'" Shakespeare said something similar. "Assume a virtue if you have it not." So, what is sickness? It's when the vital processes in your body slow down. Every cell in your body is a little bit of energy. When cells slow down, they get thrown out and removed. But when your whole system slows down, you can't get rid of waste and toxins properly. This leads to aches, pains, and a feeling of being unwell. What can you do to feel better? Speed up your body's processes and re-energize your cells. This helps your body get rid of waste and toxins that slow you down. By believing in your strength and vitality, you can help your body recover and feel better. You can do it. Think about how martial music can energize soldiers who are exhausted, or how a nice perfume can lift your spirits, and a sunny morning can give you more energy. Have you noticed that people in mental hospitals are calmer when they get plenty of sunshine? Kids behave better and you feel and act better when you're in the sun. Why is that? There's an old Italian saying, "Where the sun goes, the doctor goes not." This is because sunshine speeds up the activity in your cells. As one expert says, sunlight is actually a food for the human body. It stimulates growth and helps blood and nerves work properly. Positive affirmations, said convincingly, have a similar uplifting effect. About 30 years ago, Emile Coué amazed the world by curing all sorts of illnesses. He said nobody ought to be sick, and he proved it by healing hundreds of people after doctors couldn't help them. He also showed that his methods could improve your life, bringing wealth instead of debt and success instead of struggle. What was his secret? A very old law that psychologists have known for years, the law that the subconscious mind believes anything that is repeated to it often and convincingly. Once the subconscious mind accepts something as true, it works hard to make it a reality. When you ask a friend how he is and he says, "I am sick, I am poor, I am unlucky," he doesn't realize that he's making his problems worse. By saying these things, he's telling his subconscious mind to believe that he is indeed sick, poor, or unlucky. As a result, his subconscious mind will act accordingly and make these negative statements true. The greatest psychologist and healer of all time once said, "Whatever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive them and you shall have them." He often told the people he healed that their faith made them well. However, when he went back to his hometown, Nazareth, he couldn't do many miracles there because the people lacked faith. So how can you build such faith? There are two main ways. The first way is through affirmations. This means repeatedly telling your subconscious mind that you already have what you want. Keep saying it in a convincing manner until your subconscious mind believes it and starts making it real. Emile Coué, who cured many people, used this method. His affirmations like, "Every day in every way I'm getting better and better," or "richer and richer," helped many people. For the best results, add a second step. Stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eye, and talk to your reflection as if you were trying to sell something important. Speak with confidence and sincerity, just like a good salesman. This helps convince your subconscious mind even more, and it can truly make a difference in achieving what you desire. If you want to be healthy, try using an affirmation like this. "I am full of energy, strength, and power. I am filled with vibrant life. God's vitality fills every part of my body. I am completely well and healthy in every way. The grace and poise of Jesus Christ surrounds me. O living Father, this is your holy temple. You are making it a perfect place from which your healing love and wisdom can shine to everyone. Father, you are glorifying me so that I can glorify you." Say this to yourself and truly believe it. When you can convince yourself that you do believe it, you will become well. Here is another powerful affirmation. "Life abundant flows through me now. Love all-powerful heals me. God's strong, pure life is now active in every cell of my body. His perfect image of my every organ is now vitalized in me in perfect form. By the power and authority of Jesus Christ, every cell in my body is energized and restored. I have come to him and I am healed." You can achieve money, success, and happiness in the same way. Everything begins with a small idea, a dream, or a desire. To make it grow, you need to take action to get that idea moving and attract what it needs to succeed. Faith is what makes everything move faster and keeps your idea growing. Faith is the powerful force that makes things happen. If you can believe, all things are possible for you. Believing has a magical power. Professor William James of Harvard, America's greatest psychologist, said that belief is often the only thing that can assure the successful conclusion of a doubtful undertaking. A person's faith influences everything around them to bring about the results they imagine and believe in. When obstacles arise, it is faith that keeps the idea or business going. You must hold on to your vision of your completed goal. You need to see it as successful in your mind and truly believe in it. Think about how God created the heavens, the earth, and everything in them. The scriptures say that God made every plant before it was on the earth and every herb before it grew. How did he do it? Just like he made man in his image. He imagined man in his mind. As the psalmist said, "In your book all my parts were written when none of them were there yet." In the Gospel of John it says, "In the beginning was the Word." What is a word? It's a mental image, right? In the beginning was the mental image. That's how everything is created, even today, whether it's building a house or laying a transcontinental railway. Everything starts with a mental image. In everything God created, the word or mental image came first, and then the physical form followed. The same principle applies to you. First, get the right image in your mind. Believe in that image and you can make it a reality. You have control over your destiny, your success, and your happiness to the extent that you can think about them, visualize them, and see them as already yours. Don't let stray thoughts of fear or worry interfere with your vision. The quality of your thoughts determines your power. To make this happen, keep a clear and strong image of what you want in your mind. Believe deeply that you can achieve it. Imagine every detail and feel the emotions as if it's already real. When you do this, you align your thoughts with your desires, giving them the power to manifest. Your thoughts shape your reality, so focus on positive and powerful images to create the life you want. The source and center of all man's creative power, writes Glenn Clark, the power that above all others lifts him above the level of brute creation and that gives him dominion, is his power of making images, or the power of the imagination. Glenn Clark says that our real strength, which makes us different from animals and gives us control, is our ability to imagine. This ability to create images in our mind is very powerful. There is a real law of cause and effect that makes our dreams come true. This law is called visualization and belief. Whatever we truly believe in our inner world can become real in the outer world. Imagination shows you what you want. Action starts the process of making it happen. Belief gives it the power to attract everything it needs to become real. It goes beyond what exists to what can be. Imagination gives you the picture. Belief gives you the power to make that picture real. If you make your mental image clear and vivid, and then give it action and belief, all the powers of the universe will help you make it real. This law applies to everything in life. There is nothing you can truly desire that you cannot achieve through visualization, action, and belief. The main idea of successful visualization is this: see things as you want them to be, not as they are right now. Close your eyes and create clear pictures in your mind. Make these pictures look and act as if they were real. In other words, daydream with a purpose, then support your dreams with your belief. James Allen said it well: dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. This means that your dreams and visions shape who you will become in the future. What you imagine and believe in now will become your reality. The mental image you hold is very important, whether it's positive or negative. It can either harm or benefit you, depending on what you choose to focus on. As Thackeray put it, the world is a looking glass and gives back to every man the reflection of his own thought. This means that the world mirrors back to you what you think and feel. Every situation and experience in your life is a result of your own mental attitude. You can only do what you believe you can do. If you think you can achieve something, you will. If you doubt yourself, it will be much harder to succeed. So it is crucial to maintain a positive and confident mindset. We can only become what we believe we can be. If we think we can achieve something, then we can. The same goes for what we can have. We can only possess what we believe we can. Our actions, our being, and our possessions are all shaped by our thoughts. We can't show or do anything that we haven't first imagined in our minds. The key to power, success, and wealth starts with thinking powerful, successful thoughts. If we want wealth and abundance, we need to create these thoughts in our minds first. Paracelsus once wrote that if we could truly understand the human mind, nothing would be impossible for us on earth. Similarly, Buddha taught that everything we are is a result of what we have thought. Our thoughts are entirely under the control of our minds, and we have the ability to guide them. Therefore, it's crucial to learn how to control our thoughts. Imagine only what you want to see happen in your life. Our successes today come from our thoughts from yesterday. Always remember, you can have anything if you really want it. You can become anything you want, have anything you wish for, and achieve any goal you set if you stay focused on that desire. Believe in your own power to achieve. Just as the first step to gaining anything is desire, the key to success is belief. Believe that you already have it. See it as real, and whatever you wish for can be yours. Belief is what turns hope into reality. It shows us things we can't see yet. Your belief in yourself is what truly matters. It's the strong feeling of power within you that makes anything possible. You can do anything you think you can do. This understanding is a precious gift as it helps you solve any problem. It's the door to all the good things you want in life. But be careful not to let doubts or fears get in the way. Remember the warning from St. James, a person who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. Such a person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Bodwin put it another way. If you want wealth but always expect to be poor, or if you doubt your ability to achieve your dreams, it's like trying to reach the east by traveling west. No philosophy can help a person succeed if they constantly doubt their own abilities and attract failure. You will move in the direction you focus on. There's a saying that every time a sheep bleats, it loses a mouthful of hay. In the same way, every time you complain about your situation by saying things like, I am poor, I can't do what others do, I will never be rich, I lack the abilities others have, you create more problems for yourself. No matter how hard you work for success, if your mind is filled with the fear of failure, it will destroy your efforts, cancel out your attempts, and make success impossible. It's crucial to learn how to control your thoughts. Focus on imagining only the things you want to see happen in your life. What you achieve today comes from the thoughts and beliefs you had yesterday. Your success in anything depends on how much you believe in yourself. Even if your surroundings seem discouraging, remember that your true environment is within you. Everything that leads to success or failure starts inside your mind. You shape that inner world, and it, in turn, shapes your outer world. You get to choose what you use to build it. The richness of life lies within you. No one truly fails as long as they can start again. So begin now to do what you believe you can do. You don't need anyone's permission. Believing you can do something gives you power and energy. Opportunity is waiting for you. Grab it boldly, hold on to it, and it will be yours. It rightfully belongs to you. The people who have made a mark in this world all had one thing in common. They believed in themselves. So what do you want most from life? Whatever it is, you can have it if you believe in it. If you can see it clearly in your mind as yours, you can achieve it. You must be able to hold that vision in your thoughts, visualize it, and see yourself having it. Make your vision clear and distinct. Remember, the first thing you need is a genuine desire. Focus your thoughts on one thing with a clear and determined purpose. Second, visualize it. See yourself doing it and imagine it as clearly as you can. Think of it the same way God imagined everything He created. Third, take action. Do whatever is needed to get started, even if it's just a small step. Begin building your dream, letting it grow and develop. Fourth, have faith. Believe that you already have what you want. Constantly tell yourself in the mirror that you are rich, successful, healthy, or happy. Not that you will be, but that you already are. Fifth, be grateful. Feel gratitude for what you have received, for the power that helped you create it, and for all the gifts your mind has given you. Thank God for understanding the law of attraction and for everything you have. What is the greatest problem in the world today? What causes more suffering and wrongdoing than anything else? It is poverty. Poverty is the worst enemy of morality, peace, and happiness. Poverty leads to most of the commercialized vice. It fills our prisons with thieves and murderers. It is a major cause of disease. 9 out of 10 instances of unhappiness and misery in the world are because of poverty. Poverty drives men to drink and suicide. It drives women to desperate actions. It makes people do things they would normally find disgusting. Poverty is a terrible problem. Some churches still consider poverty a virtue, but this idea is outdated. It comes from the old feudal times when the rich had everything and the poor had nothing. To prevent the poor from revolting, they were taught that God wanted it this way. In the past, people believed there weren't enough good things for everyone. So the many had to suffer so the few could enjoy life. They were told it would all be made right in the next world. We now understand this was just a way to keep people quiet and prevent them from rebelling. If we judge things by their results, as the Master said, then poverty is just as bad as it seems. Think of the deadly upas tree in Java, which kills birds with its poison. Poverty is like that tree. For every person who uses poverty as a motivation to achieve great things, there are 1,000 others who live in squalor and misery. We know now that the old idea of not having enough for everyone is as foolish as the idea that God would choose a specific class of nobles to have all the good things while the common people starve. This old belief was used to justify the unfair distribution of wealth. It's important to understand that there is enough for everyone, and the idea that some must suffer for others to thrive is both outdated and false. We must strive for a world where everyone has access to the good things in life. There are more riches on this earth than humans could ever use up. There is more power in the atom alone than people could ever utilize. There are endless resources of food, wealth, and comfort that we haven't even imagined yet. So why do so many people live in poverty, even in the wealthiest country in the world? Why do millions die of famine in India and China? It's similar to a group of explorers who were blown far out to sea by a west wind from the Amazon River and nearly died of thirst while drifting in a river of fresh water. In the same way, millions of people live in a world full of abundance but suffer from lack. God is not partial to a lucky few. He doesn't give everything to some and let the rest starve. He provides freely to all. However, there are certain laws that govern these riches. There are rules that must be followed, and until you learn these rules, you are like Alibaba, without the magic words "open sesame" to unlock the treasure. You've probably heard of Einstein's law of relativity and wondered about it at times. In the same way, there are laws and principles that govern how we access the wealth and resources of the world. Once you understand and follow these laws, you can open the doors to the abundance that is all around you. Why should so much fuss be made over a scientific law that seems obscure and irrelevant to everyday life? You might think it doesn't affect you at all. But did you know that Einstein's theory is as important to you as any law that exists? Let's break it down. Einstein's theory is based on two main ideas. First, there is only one material in the universe. Second, and this is the part that directly affects you, there is only one fundamental law of the universe. This law is called the law of attraction. To help you understand this better, let's look at how this law is expressed in the Bible. The Bible says, "To him that hath shall be given, and from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath." In everyday language, this means you have to either attract things to yourself or be prepared to watch everything you have get drawn to someone with a stronger personality. In other words, Einstein's law and the biblical saying both mean that you need to be someone who attracts positive things into your life. If you don't, you might end up losing what you already have to those who are more powerful or influential. Does that seem unfair? If it does, it's still the way nature works. Let's consider a seed, like an acorn. When you plant an acorn in the ground, it starts by using all the elements within itself to grow a small shoot. This shoot then draws from the sun and air the elements it needs. At the same time, the acorn sends out roots to gather moisture and nutrients from the soil. The shoot grows upward toward the sun and air, while the roots dig deeper into the ground for water and nourishment. The acorn is constantly reaching out and using everything it has, drawing in everything it needs to grow. As time passes, the acorn grows into a big oak tree. but eventually the oak tree stops growing. What happens then? Its ability to attract what it needs from the environment stops. Can the tree survive on the elements it has already gathered over the years? No, it can't. The moment the tree stops growing, it starts to break down. The elements that make up the tree begin to be pulled away by the growing plants around it. First, the moisture leaves the tree. Then the leaves fall and the bark starts to peel off. Eventually, the great trunk falls down and decays, turning into soil that nourishes the plants growing nearby. Soon the mighty oak is gone, leaving behind enriched soil and healthy plants that have benefited from its decay. The fundamental law of the universe is simple. You must either grow or break down. You must either move forward and develop or help others who are growing. There's no staying the same. You must increase your activity and attract all the available resources around you. Or you must give what you have to help someone else succeed. The saying, "To him that hath shall be given," means that those who actively use their ability to attract things will receive everything they need to grow and succeed. On the other hand, "From him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath," means that if you don't use your ability to attract, you will lose it. If you stop using your attractive powers, you become like a dead magnet surrounded by live ones. The live magnets will draw away everything you have gathered, until eventually even you are absorbed by their unstoppable force. In other words, you need to keep growing and attracting resources. If you don't, you will lose your ability to attract, and will end up losing what you have to those who are still actively growing and attracting. That is the first and most important law of the universe. But how do you become someone who attracts things to yourself? How do you start? The answer is to follow the same steps that have been taken since the beginning of time. To understand how to become an attractor, look at nature. Nature is logical in everything it does. If you want to understand how it works, study nature in its simplest forms. The basic principles you find in simple forms hold true for the entire universe. The methods used in simple forms are also used in more complicated ones. For example, think about the earliest forms of cell life, whether plant or animal. How did they get their food? They absorbed it from the water around them. How does every cell in your body and every cell in plants, trees, or animals get its food today? In exactly the same way, by absorbing nutrients from the surrounding fluid. Nature's methods do not change. Nature might build more complex organisms, go for larger sizes, or create strange combinations, but the basic principles remain the same: divide and grow. This means that whether it's a single cell or a complex organism, the process of growth and attraction follows the same fundamental rules. By understanding and following these natural principles, you can learn to become an attractor, drawing in what you need to grow and succeed. What is nature's way of growing and increasing? From the very beginning, it has been about dividing and growing. This principle, like all fundamental laws of nature, applies to all life and has not changed since the first single-celled organism floated on the surface of the ancient sea. It is the basic law of growth. If you look at the simplest form of cell life, how does it grow? It divides into two. Each part then grows back to its original size, and then each of those parts divides again. This cycle of division and growth continues. Now consider the most complex form of cell life, humans. The same principle applies in exactly the same way. In fact, this is the only way nature knows how to grow. So how does this principle relate to your life, your pursuit of wealth, and your quest for success? If you examine any story of miraculous growth in the Bible, you'll notice a pattern. First comes division, and then comes growth. This means that in order to grow and succeed, you must apply this principle of dividing and then growing. In practical terms, this could mean breaking down your goals into smaller, manageable parts, and working on each part until it grows to its full potential. Once each part has grown, you divide and expand further. By following nature's timeless principle of divide and grow, you can steadily increase your success and wealth. Many people often say, "I don't understand why God doesn't send me riches. I've prayed for them and promised to use them for good." But God doesn't make deals with us. He gives us certain gifts to begin with, and how we use these gifts determines if we receive more. You have to start with what you have. It's not helpful to think that what you have is too little to make a difference. Remember the parable of the talents. The servant who received 5 talents invested them and earned more, as did the servant who received 2 talents. But the servant who received only 1 talent thought it was too little to matter, so he buried it. When the master returned, the servant who buried his talent faced consequences. You have a mind full of ideas that could improve the lives of those around you, ideas for serving others, making people happy, and improving conditions. Use these ideas and act on them. In your mind, they are just dreams and fantasies. But by taking action, you can turn these dreams into reality. Your ideas are like seeds. If you plant them and nurture them, they will grow. Start with what you have, no matter how small it seems, and use it to make a difference. As you do this, you'll find that you are given more resources and opportunities. Don't wait for more to come before you start. Begin with what you have now. Remember, everything in this universe starts with a small core or nucleus. This nucleus can be an idea, a goal, or something you deeply desire. But by itself, this nucleus has no power. It can't attract anything on its own. You need to set it in motion and give it life. To do this, you need to invest something of your own, like money, time, or effort. Start by giving your nucleus some energy to get it moving. This action gives it the power to attract what it needs to grow. But how can you do this? First, you need to take action. If you want a specific job or opportunity, you need to start the process that will bring it to you. If the job requires special knowledge, dedicate time to study and gain that knowledge. If it requires influence, build relationships with people who have that influence. Do whatever is necessary to prepare yourself for that opportunity. While you are working towards your goal, take a moment each morning and night to look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself that you have what it takes to achieve your goal. Boost your confidence and faith in yourself. By doing this, you increase the energy of your nucleus, making it more powerful and attractive. Imagine yourself doing the task you'll need to do when you get the job. Visualize it clearly in your mind. If you can, practice this task in front of a mirror. Every time you see your reflection, look yourself in the eye and affirm that you are successful and capable of achieving your goals. Always remember, first you need a clear mental picture, and then you can make it happen. Get a clear mental image of what you want, take action to bring it to life, believe in it, and soon it will become reality. If you don't have a clear image in your mind, it will be difficult to communicate it to others. For anything you want in life, like a healthy body, a great vacation, good opportunities, or a deeper understanding of God, you need to first create a mental equivalent of it, as Emmett Fox advises. If you create a clear mental image of what you want, it will come to you. But what is a mental image? It's simply the picture you hold in your mind of the things you desire. Many books have been written about how to be successful and achieve your dreams. But the core idea is this: everything has the power to attract what it needs to grow and succeed if it is set into motion and kept going by constant belief. Understanding this can help anyone to succeed. This knowledge is incredibly valuable and can help you overcome any challenge or obstacle. It's like a precious gift that can change your life. Begin something, no matter how small, because starting is already half the battle. When you take that first step, you set things in motion, attracting similar energies and opportunities to you. A strong desire, supported by a clear purpose, acts like a powerful magnet, drawing everything it needs to grow and succeed. However, the strength of this magnet depends entirely on how much you believe in it. Think about an old experiment by Professor Henry from Princeton. He used a regular magnet to lift a few pounds of iron. Then he wrapped the magnet with wire connected to a small battery. With the added power, the magnet could lift 300 pounds of iron instead of just a few. This shows how much more you can achieve when you add the power of belief to your efforts. Believing in yourself is like adding power from a battery. It makes you much stronger and more capable. This belief helps you attract everything you need to be successful. Building this belief might be tough, but it's crucial because without it, you can't succeed. Using positive affirmations, as mentioned earlier, can really help. Remember, on the great clock of time, there is only one word: now. If you expect health or wealth only in the future, you might get them someday, but not today. You'll always be chasing after them. Today is the day to start making changes. What you plan to do tomorrow can be started more effectively today. Delays don't bring any benefits. Think about these lines from Goethe. Are you serious? Seize this very minute. Whatever you can do or dream you can do, start it now. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Once you commit, your mind will become more motivated. Begin and you will see the work through to completion. The Book of Gold. If you believe in God, others, or yourself, speak up. If you don't, keep your doubts to yourself until you find faith. No one will mind if you stay silent. Ella Wheeler Wilcox. Your destiny is within you. Let this powerful truth remove all fear, prejudice, and hesitation. Know that you have greatness within you, a greatness connected to the divine. Control your surroundings and find happiness. Ella Wheeler Wilcox. This is Be Rich by Robert Collier. It's a simple but highly motivational and inspiring book with important lessons rooted in the Bible. You can increase whatever you have. If you have $1, that's enough, just like Jesus multiplied the loaves and fish, or Elisha with the oil. The law of increase is a key idea in this book, and the metaphors and analogies it uses are helpful to remember. So, you create your reality and start to make it real. You begin by taking action towards your goals, and this action gets things moving. Your belief becomes like a magnet, attracting the things you need into your life. The process starts with a thought, which is like the first step. Once you have that thought and believe in it, you can achieve anything you want. Thank you for listening.